nature. Not even the electricity reached over there. And afterwards, we'll complete the tour all around the island to arrive and to bring you and drop you off on your pier, the Puerto Maya, okay? Where your cruise ship, the Carnival Breeze, will be waiting for you. Don't worry if when we arrive to the pier, if you don't see your ship anymore over there. Don't worry. Have you heard about mi casa, su casa? There we go. Don't worry, it's a joke. And well, as I was telling you on the pier, my job today, your cruise ship placed me on this bus to be with you the whole excursion. So with confidence, anything you need, let me know, okay? And well, today you came to the third biggest island that we have on the Mexican Republic, named Cozumel, on the north. Have you ever heard about the other peninsula that we have on Mexico called Baja? On Baja we found the two largest islands of Mexico. One, it's called Shark Island, the biggest one. The second one is called Misericordia Island, and the third one is Cozumel, being the third biggest one, but also the most populated island of Mexico. Today, on this little town that you see, they have 95,000 populators, the island of Cozumel. 95% of the people of here also will work day by day on this industry, the tourism. And the official language that we speak over here in Mexico, of course, is the Spanish. But let me tell you that today you came to the Mayan world. So there's a non-official language that is still spoken in Cozumel Island, and even us, the new generation, will still speak it. A little bit mixed with the Spanish, but it's the Mayan, yes. And well, starting by the name of my place, of Cozumel. This name was born 300 years before Christ, when the first culture came to populate Cozumel Island, named the Mayas. The Mayas came and well, they saw Cozumel Island and they named it Cozamil instead of Cozumel. Cozamil is Mayan language. Cozom, my friends, means the land of. Lumil means the swallow birds, the land of the swallows. Yes. And they used to travel using canoes from, have you ever heard about the Yucatan Peninsula? Our mainland. They used to travel using wooden canoes made of one piece of wood. And they used to arrive to a north side lagoon that we have over here in front of an island, because it's named Passion Island. And from over there they will do an 8-mile peregrination towards the Mayan ruins that you're about to see. Yes. Actually, has anybody been on another archaeological site of the Mayan culture? Maybe Tulum, Chichen Itza. Yeah. Well, actually, Chichen Itza was like a capital for Cozumel Island, and from the Yucatan Peninsula they used to travel a lot to here. But even though that Yucatan name, take a, how do you listen to it? Yucatan, it even sounds more Mayan than Cozumel, right? But let me tell you something, my friends, about the name of our mainland. Yucatan was born when the first Spaniard galleon came to visit and conquer the Mexican Republic and the Mayan world. They will approach to the coast on the galleons, but before they will get there, the Mayan people will surround the galleons with the wooden canoes. And over there they will hear the first question, the first contact with the Spaniards, that will be, excuse me, which is the name of this land? A simple question. But let me tell you that the Mayan people, my friends, they only knew how to speak Maya, of course. So they will answer on Maya, they will shout, Mati Nati Katang. They used to say, Mati Nati Katang, Mayan language. And in between each other they used to repeat, Uyutan, Uyutan. So the Spaniards started to listen to this, Uyutan, Uyutan, Mati Nati Katang. So they said Yucatan. And they named our mainland. And still today is like this. Family, what the Spaniard people didn't knew was that Mati Nati Katang meant, I don't understand anything you're saying. And Uyutan means listen how these people talk. So kind of a misunderstanding was when the name of the Yucatan Peninsula was born. And still today is like this, you know. Have you been to Jamaica? Well, they say in Jamaica, no problem, you know. In Mexico, my friends, no solutions, you know. These kind of things happens in my country, yes. This kind of names, appearance of misunderstandings, yes. And the only reason why they used to come here, to Cozumel, and when I say they, I'm generalizing. When I say they, I mean every single person, every single one that used to live on the Mayan world, a world that took place in 5 countries. Today, oh. You notice the Sam's Club, yes. By now, my friends, this is part of the tour, you know. Yes, it's new. Actually, we have people from Canada here, right? Canada? United States? Very good. You know, we have the 3 combination over here. A couple of years ago, on the north of America, Canada, Mexico, and United States, the governments decided to establish an agreement called NAFTA. Have you heard about the NAFTA treatment? This is when we started having all the American franchises on Mexico too. You know, as Sam's Club, we have McDonald's, we have Burger King, we have Domino's Pizza, Pizza Hut, we have Starbucks Cafe, my friends. We have even Blockbuster, but not in the States anymore. Yeah. I think it's a very good agreement in order to support each other's economy. I think it's a very great job, you know. But although that any American franchise can travel around these 3 countries, there's one, my friends, that I'm sorry that if you look and you look on my whole country, you will never find a Taco Bell. Why? They came here, they saw the market, and they say, okay, there's just too much competition, let's go back. Okay. So, well, maybe after the Mayan Ruins tour, you will have a chance to try a real Mexican taco. Yes, there's some very good tacos over there. And, well, where I was before the Sam's Club. Yes, well,
the Mayan ruins.
Very good, thank you, sir. Well, everybody used to come from the Mayan world, you know. This war took place in 5 countries. We know them as the south of Mexico, complete Belize, all Guatemala, the north of El Salvador, and the north of Honduras. My friends, every single person in these 5 countries used to come once in a lifetime to Cozumel. They used to travel crossing the Yucatan Channel with the wooden canoes to arrive here to this lagoon and to walk for 8 miles to the Mayan ruins we're about to visit in order just to venerate one goddess. Not a god this time, my friends. Instead of that, a goddess, a she-god. And her name, the most important thing to remember about the Mayan ruins is this name, my friends. Can you repeat with me, please? Ixchel. Ixchel was the goddess that the Mayan culture used to come to visit here because she was the goddess of the moon. But mostly, and the attribute of Goddess Ixchel and the reason why every single person will come here to visit her was because Goddess Ixchel was the goddess of fertility, my friends. And of course, that today we're not talking about fertility of agriculture, of growing vegetables. Yes? We're talking about fertility of childbirth, my friends. Every single person on the Mayan world used to come here to procreate, to find the first wife, the first marriage, and to have the first pregnancy. Welcome to the island of love.
Okay. Okay.
Do we have any honeymooners today?
Yeah, that'd be a good place for us.
No? Anniversary? Very good, my friends. Just please keep with the group on the Mayan ruins, okay? You know, that ruins had some powers. And, well, something I need to tell you before we arrive to the ruins. Maybe you've been on other archaeological sites of the Mayan people, yes? But does anybody been on Chichen Itza, for example?
Yeah.
Very good idea, very good. Now in Chichen Itza you can see enormous temples, enormous ruins, yes? And sometimes the people that comes to this excursion, they expect that in San Gervasio they will see enormous pyramids or enormous ruins. They didn't used to construct this kind of temples over here because the only purpose was the fertility of Cozumel Island. But after my explanation, you will notice why this was one of the most important cities for the whole Mayan civilization, as everybody used to visit it at least once. And well, on the place we will walk together. I will take you for all the temples and I will explain you each of them too. Okay? Before we arrive there to the Mayan ruins, there's another person on our excursion. Someone that I need to introduce to the group too. Yes. And I think he's one of the most important persons that we have on board today. Can we give a big applause to receive Irvin, our bus driver? Don't stand up, Irvin, please. Never know. My friends, let me tell you that when I saw Irvin on the parking lot, I felt blessed. I felt very happy to see him, not only because he's a good friend of mine, but also because last year, out of 30 bus drivers that this company has, this gentleman on my right side, he was named the second best driver of Cozumel Island. All right. Actually, he was really well trained by an American company. United States of America. Irvin. Have you ever been to New York, my friends? Oh, Yellow Cab Company. My friend over here. Well, he's a very good driver, and if I'm not around, if you need anything at all, you can ask him and he will help you too. Okay? And well, before we arrive to the ruins, this will be in around 5 minutes. I need to tell you some things in order to make this excursion function alright. First of all, there's some details that you need to know of this new country that you came today, Mexico. The official language that we speak over here, as I told you, is the Spanish, so as our currency are the pesos. Yes. But this is a touristic place, my friends, so anywhere in the island, if you need to buy something and you need to pay on dollars, you will receive change on your currency, the dollars, American dollars, yes? But there's some things when you use the plastic, you know, plastic fantastic. If you need to use your credit cards in a point, remember that all the machines around the world, they make an instant conversion to the local currency, yes? In everywhere. That's why, for example, our currency today is, for $1, you get 14 Mexican pesos. That's why, for example, on a store, if you pay $10 on a credit card, you will receive a receipt that says 140 pesos. Yes? Don't get scared, there's no dollars, there are pesos. Yes? And, well, little by little, I know this is not a shopping tour. It's mostly a cultural tour. But it's totally understandable that sometimes the people would like to have a souvenir, yes, of the excursion or to remember it. And around the places that we will go, I can also tell you what are the recommended things to buy on the Mayan ruins comparing to the rest of the island. Yes? There are some things that you will find it cheaper on the main street of Cozumel, and there are some things that you will find it cheaper over here. Okay? And one thing that we need to know about the excursion is that this bus is constructed only for you today. Okay, this is your bus today. So if you need to bring something to drink, something to eat for doing the sightseeing, it's totally allowed to do it, my friends. You can bring, I don't know, Coca-Cola. You know, they sell Mexican Coca-Cola. tried it before? Yeah, say it's better, I don't know why. And well, cold beer, margaritas are allowed too. They say it's 5 o'clock somewhere, you know, although it's early in the morning. And and well, just remember that on the way back to the bus, we have to remember which is our bus. Just remember that today we are riding the number 4. Number 4 will be our bus the whole excursion with Irving, our bus driver. As this is your bus, my friends, nobody will go inside but Irving. Yes? So if you don't want to leave something of your personal belongings inside the bus, that you don't, maybe a heavy backpack, something that you don't want to carry on the places we are visiting, it's totally allowed to leave it inside the bus. So as after the excursion, please try to take your same seats. We're a full bus today, and this is a quiet and peaceful island, my friends. We don't want another revolution over here. So please take your same seats. And well, inside the park that we're visiting, it's allowed only to enter with plastic bottles, maybe water, it's allowed. Coca-Cola and Gatorade, these kind of drinks are allowed, but any glass bottle is not allowed. Beer or food is not allowed into the park, yes? And I just want to make one petition for everybody before we arrive. The archaeological site that we're visiting, the ground, it won't be even completely, yes? It's a little bit bumpy, so please, always try to watch your step. Okay, watch your step the whole excursion. A common mistake, my friends, is to walk with the camera, like this. In a pond, we may hit a rock or something and we may fall. So that's why, actually, talking about the cameras that you brought today, any camera that is on this bus, it's allowed to enter to the park. Yes? You can take the pictures. But if somebody brought a video camera, a Handycam, or a GoPro, the park regulations of INA, the Department of the Archaeological Sites of Mexico, they have a regulation of $4 if you want to use a video camera to film. Yes? So if anybody brought a Handycam, the ones that has a little screen, if you want to use it, they charge $4. If you brought a digital camera, that's the one that my friend has, yes, and if you want to take videos, it's no problem, you can do it, just for the video cameras, okay? And well, inside the park, my friends, we will be around 1 hour. Yes, 1 hour we will walk from each temple, so I will explain it to you. And as I was telling you, this is not a shopping tour, but we give free time afterwards. After the 1 hour, we give 20 Mexican minutes. If you want to visit maybe the bar, if you want to refresh yourself, if you want to use the bathroom, or if you would like to shop a little bit on the Mayan ruins, that in my opinion, my friends, over there you will be only supporting local hands, yes? If you spend money over there, you won't go to Europe or United States, it will stay in the local hands of Cozumel. And I have also to give you a little ticket, yes? This little ticket is the federal permit to enter to the federal zone, the archaeological site. My friends, listen closely. I have one ticket for each of you, yes? This means that please, you have to keep the ticket all the time on your hands, because at the entrance they will ask for this ticket, and if you don't have it, you will have to pay for another one. Okay, so please, keep the ticket on your hand the whole excursion. If you need any question, any curiosity, before we arrive, while I give you your tickets, this is a good moment to ask, okay? I will be with you in a second. To go to another archaeological site of the Mayan people. Remember one thing, after this excursion you will know how to recognize a Mayan sacred temple. Yes? First of all, whenever you will see 2 columns on the entrance, that will mean that that's a temple. Yes? Because this is, well, part of the main understanding of things for the Mayas. The Maya direct descendants used to be Asiatic. They used to come from Mongolia. They crossed the Stretch of Bering on an ice age. That's why the main belief was the duality, as the yin-yang. That's why we have two columns, meaning duality. Day, night, good, wrong, correct, incorrect, man, woman, yes, etc., etc. A little door to enter to the temple. Let me ask you, why do you think that they will create a little door to enter a temple?
One at a time. We have to stoop to go in.
Very good, yes, make a reverence, yes, in order again to show respect, as the little stairs stoop. Do you wish to see the hands painted on the wall? Yes? Do you know what that is? Well, those are little hands, painted on red, representing blood, giving a blessing for entering the place. Maybe you have heard that the Mayan people used to do human sacrifices. Well, yes, they used to do it on different cities in order to take message takers to the gods. Yes? But this one is the island to give life, the place of the fertility. It does make total sense to make a human sacrifice on the place to give life. Yes? That's why the meaning of the red on the hands of the blood will mean life today. Yes? And these two platforms that are laying on both sides, they used to cover it with stucco, and they used to put leathers on top made of jaguar leathers, wild boar leathers, etc., etc., to make it comfortable. A place to spend a complete night. Yes? So what do you think it will be, these two platforms? Beds. Yes. Family, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Yes? Don't do respect to everybody. I already mentioned what the Mayan people used to come to do here. Yes. Fertility, madam. Have some coochie rooms. Now, please, follow me this way. We will take everybody can fit. My friends, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Did they offer you a tour guide service on the entrance?
No.
No? Didn't they offer you a tour guide service?
We just want money.
Okay, because, well, all the people that you see with a sticker over here paid for listening to me today. And there are certified tour guides on the entrance trying to work. I can escort you if you want to get one.
We can do it.
Okay. I'm sorry, but well, I don't think it's fair. And, well, what do you see in front of us, my friends? Oh, butthole. What's that?
A well.
A whale, yes. For what?
Water.
Yes, but on a different way. Let me tell you why. Although if it rains a complete year, non-stop, this well will never get full of water, as we don't see any water inside. Why? This functions as a filter. It filters the water to the underground into the caverns. Yes. Of course, the water can be filtered on any kind of cavern. Yes. But why they will do a hole on the ground to filter the same water? Let me tell you why. Underground, underneath the well, there will be a great grand cavern full of fresh water. This will give a low temperature to this well. Perfect temperature to conserve some aliments as vegetables, fruits, yes, fish, wild boar. They used to cover it as a refrigerator, my friends. And on times of storms, after a storm, they will open it again to function as a sewage. Take a look around. This is the lowest point of Tantun. So after a hurricane, after a big storm, all the water will go over here, will get filtered to the underground, and well, the rest of the city will stay dry. Have you seen a cenote before, for example? Yes? The cenotes are natural holes of the ground full of fresh water, but this is not natural. Yes? This is made by the hand of the men, cut with an obsidian stone, and with a system of burning the stone up to be red hot, and afterwards they used to throw cold water to make it crack. And with a point of obsidian, the volcanic rock, they will open it to have a nice well for fresh water. Now please, Watch very close your step over here and follow me. Okay, from there we have a perfect vision of Chichen Na, another structure that we have on the park, and a very important one to explain to everybody because that was the first stop to visit Saint Gervasio, yes, or Tantum at that time. Chichen Na on Mayan language means something. Chichen means small. Na means house, little house. Yes. But this is the name that the people gave to this temple on the 46. People from Cozumel. This temple will be studied by experts and they will notice that it wasn't even close to be a little house in the end. Yes. Why not? Somebody noticed something about the temple.
No roof?
Sorry?
No roof?
No roof? Well, what do we see on every Mayan temple in the beginning?
Column.
Columns, yes. And a little door to enter in order to make our reverence, to show respect inside, yes. Do you reach to see the thick right chamber that we have on the right side? My friends, obsidian stones and pieces of limestones were found over there. But they were found, all the walls burned out. That meant that the red hot, the rocks that they used to put inside, they were red hot. Yes. And after the red hot rocks, what the Mayan people used to throw inside was water in order to create what?
Steam bath.
Yes. Steam bath. A sauna. Yes. Mayan sauna. But of course, not a place to get relaxed as the saunas we know today. My friends, after crossing the Yucatan Channel using the wooden canoes, the Mayan people will spend inside 4 complete nights with the door covered on high temperatures. In between the ages of 14 and 18 years old. And the main idea, the reason why they will do that, was to completely deshydrate a body. With no food and no water for 4 nights, the minds will reach to a point of break. Over there they used to start having hallucinations. And with this they used to believe that they saw the gods face to face in order to ask the permission to leave the offerings to the Halach Winik and to pass to the ceremonies of marriage. A purification center before a marriage. For the Halach Winik, or the high priest, if you didn't survive that purification chamber, the only thing that it means is that you weren't strong enough in the end to raise the new mission of having a family. And I'm sorry, I'm better luck next slide. Yes? So please come closer, let me show you this part. Piled. My friends, inside this structure, the archaeologists coming from different universities as Harvard, Oxford University found the remains of 7 bodies, skeletons, fully covered with precious materials. Turquoise again, clays, potteries, feathers. A very important thing to remember, inside they found all the skulls covered with jade masks. And to protect the jade, wooden masks on top too. This meant that what these people had inside the tomb were offerings brought from the Mayan world. My friends, let me tell you that the persons that were laying inside, they are known as to be Halach Winiks. Can you repeat with me?
Halach Winiks.
Halach Winik is the highest point of a social Mayan class. Is the administrator of the place, a high priest believed to have god powers, a semi-god they used to believe in. Yes? And the 7 bodies of the people laying inside used to belong to the same family, generations and generations of Halach Winiks. And the precious things that they have were the offerings of these pilgrims coming to venerate goddess Ixchel. Yes? Before we pass to see the temple of the Halach Winiks, who have been on Chichen Itza? Who told me? Yeah. Madam, do you remember that on Chichen Itza you could see the same kind of stairs? But the same kind of stairs as you can see over here, on the temples over there, they are reached up to be 91, for example. And it's a perfect way for me to explain you that this culture, they didn't used to construct stuff just like that. Every single piece of rock that you will see has a purpose to be on this way. Take a look to the little stairs. Do you find them comfortable? Not even my feet fits completely, yes? Why do you think they will create little stairs?
They had short feet.
Short feet, yes, little people. Yes, my friends, but they were not hobbits in the end, okay? The stairs, placed like this, they are not to climb. They are like this because they didn't used to climb the same way we do it today. They won't climb like this because they know that this will be confronting the person that is on the top. And going down, showing the back of our body, will be a high show of disrespect to the person that will be on the top of the temple. Yes? Maybe a high priest or a VIP person. Yes? That's why they used to do little stairs in order to climb them sideways. Yes? Sideways, on diagonal way, in order to show respect and to imitate, by doing zigzags, the movement of the snake, the feathered snake, the most sacred animal for the Mayan culture. Now come with me, I will show you the temple of the Harach. Yes? But afterwards, you won't be allowed to stay a complete year to live on Tantun. You will have to leave back home after conceiving a pregnancy. But some people were allowed to live on the center of Goa Seychelles for a complete year, but it only was the captains of war, noble class, the high priests, of course, and the intellectual area of the Mayan culture. Yes? And well, if they could stay, they will live on these kind of houses where, well, you can see more cuchi rooms, with all due respect. We have a yard over here on the middle, yes, a place of reunion, and that little part of the house that you see, my friends, is a very important one, kitchen, yes. Why do we know that that's a kitchen? Because inside the remains of some instruments of the kitchen were found. For example, who likes guacamole? 2 hands. My friends, have you ever seen how a guacamole is made? Using a mortar, a stone instrument. Well, it's called molcajete, but over here a similar kind of instrument was found. Of course, a mortar also, but with this mortar they used to crush a different thing as avocado, corn. Yes, and if there's a good thing to remember about the Mayan culture in general, is what the word Maya means. Yes, M-A-Y-A means the people of the corn, my friends. The main idea, the first belief, was that on the Mayan Bible, the person that the God that created all the world and all the people, named Hubnapku, the god of the cosmic energy, they used to believe that he used to create every single person out of corn. I know it's funny, that's why they used to give the shape of the cone head to the little kids, as the corn is. Yes? But if we think a little bit about it, well, if we put it in a more figurative way, my friends, I'm Mexican. I love being Mexican, by the way. And well, every day on my table, instead of bread, we will eat tortillas. You know? Tortillas are made out of corn. In a way, I'm full of corn. You know? And well, in the middle, the part of the reunion area of the house. Over here, of course, there won't be allowed any normal citizen. Only captains of war will come here to get reunite nobles and some other part of the social classes. Family, they didn't have no beer or tequila to celebrate, yes? None of these kind of drinks. But they used to have a special drink of the Mayan culture and the pre-Hispanic cultures of Mexico. This was called chocolha, a mix between chocolate and water and some pepper. Yes? It was called chocolha and it was a ceremonial drink. Even the cocoa beans used to be the currency of the 65 pre-Hispanic cultures of Mexico. And well, there's a there will be one kind of person of the Mayan world that could be allowed to be mixed with the noble class. Actually, these social classes on that time were really well respected. My friends, sir, if you were born as a fisherman on that time, you will die as a fisherman. There were no ways to go up. Yes. If you were born as a hunter, you will die as one. So if you were born as a noble or a high priest, you will die as a high priest. Yes. There only could be two ways to scale the social classes, and one used to be on these kind of yards. Normally the social classes used to start with the halach winik, the high priest. Following him, the noble class. Yes. Captains of war will follow. Intellectuals, mathematicians, astronomers, surgical dentists, brain surgeon, and surgical dentist. Following them, warriors, hunters, fishermen, agricultors, recollectors. They didn't used to have slaves, but working class people. And in the very bottom, in the end, well, crossing the limestone and the caverns, the tour guides, my friends. No, but the only two ways of going up on these social classes was by birth. How? If you were born as a newborn boy, born already with crossed eyes, this meant that you were sent by Humnapku, this god, to rule on this world. So we will scale all the social classes up to be a halach winik, a semi-god. And the second class of people that could be somehow with the novelty, but they won't die as a noble in the end. But they could live with them, eat as them, sleep as them, and have a privilege as them. It will be something that resembles our new era. The musicians, my friends, artists, were allowed to entertain the noble class and live as a noble. Similar to today, right? Have you ever seen, for example, Justin Bieber eating with the Pope? My God, yes, the same thing I said. I have to update myself every single day, and I found something very interesting on this area, and I would like to share it to you. Yes, I was trying to do something extra for my people. This plant, did somebody saw where I took it from? Where? The rocks. That rocks that you see over there. Why I took it from the rocks? Because this plant grows on top of the rocks. Yes. It sticks the roots on the rocks. Yes. This plant is called Xcanan. Xcanan. So if you don't believe me in the end, my friends, you can Google it. Yes. Xcanan is a Mayan medicinal plant. It grows on top of the rocks because it eats calcium. This is what it used to survive. Yes, calcium. For example, on the intellectual area of the Mayan people, they used to have doctors and surgical dentists. They used to have fishermen too, that they will go fishing on a day of journey, on a day of work. Yes, and sometimes they will come to this city with a. Have you seen a sea urchin before? Yeah. Yes, with a sea urchin on his feet, spines. The sea urchin is a microorganism that, well, it grows also on limestone, so it eats calcium too. So the spines of the sea urchin are made out of calcium too. So the doctor, instead of, well, do you know what you have to do when you step on a sea urchin?
Pee on it.
Yes, you have to pee on it. Nasty, yes. So instead of doing that, the Mayan doctor will know that the Xcanan plant eats the calcium. So they will do a paste and they will put it on the back part of the feet. For one complete night, that spine made out of calcium will disappear completely. Yes. Even more, the surgical dentists of the Mayan people used to use Xcanan plant to operate. Instead of using the obsidian and cutting and infecting, maybe, they will use Xcanan. They will do a paste and they will put it on the teeth that they want to retirate. My friends, as the plant is calcium, in one night, the next morning, it will be very, very easy to retirate the teeth. Yes. My friends, let me tell you what we use this plant for still today. Yes, still today it's part of the Mayan heritage of the people of Cozumel. You can make a tea, shkanan. Did you see the color of the plant? It's green. But the tea will turn red, as this is the same plant that they used to use as ink to making, for example, the little hands that you saw. Yes? But you cannot drink the tea just like that. Just like that. Why? Because if the tea touch our teeth, they will fall completely. Yes, every single teeth on your mouth. Because it is calcium. That's why you have to put a straw. And you have to put the straw all the way down to your throat. That's what my grandfather used to use. For what? You know, my grandfather used to have kidney stones. Yes. So with teas of Ishkanan, not more than 2 teas, 2 sessions, to completely banish your gallstones. And well, you saw the color of the plant. What color do you see on my hand? Green. Are you sure?
Kind of yellowish brown.
It will turn red on a couple of seconds. Yes. Help me with that because I'm colorblind. Well, what do you think we are stepping on? Rocks. Yes. Something more specific. Path. Road. Yes. A road of perenniation, my friends, that 8 miles from here, it leads directly to the lagoon, where they used to live the canoes. Yes. In order to walk this road, the only thing that they will have to do, will have to wait at night to walk this road. Because they will come here to venerate the goddess of the moon, and they will have to walk under the moonlight. Yes. That's why on the middle of the jungle, to have some light, they used to put on the mix of the stucco that used to cover the road. They used to put also conch shells and white pearls. With the reflection of the moon, this road used to light up and to walk comfortably, as the replica is that one. It used to be similar to this one. And the first thing that they will see coming to Tantun will be the front door, the arch. Take a look to the arch. Family. Well, the Mayan people found a way also to hide the knowledge and information on the structures. So what you know about the city is already written on our arch. Yeah. Take a look, it has 6 steps facing upside down on one side. And it has another 6 steps facing upside down on the other side. And together, how many steps do we have? 12. There's 1 step connecting both sides on the middle. This will give us an extra one, 13 steps. Yes. This number is not by coincidence. Of course, what do you think it means, the 13?
Good luck.
Bad luck, right? But, of course it means the bad luck today, but it's also the number of full moons that we have in 1 year. There are 13 full moons on 1 year. And if we multiply the 13 by a magic number that the Mayan people used to have, the 20, they used to base every calendar and every single mathematic operation on the 20. Yes? And if we multiply 13 for 20, someone quick? 260. Do you feel related to this number, 260? No. Nobody?
Not that old yet.
But of course you are, my friends. 260 on days is the same as saying 9 months, the period of gestation of a baby. So Goddess of the Moon and Fertility is written on our front door to enter to Tantun.
Got it.
Follow?
Yes.
Very good. Follow me this way, please. Anybody has any question? Yes, sir.
Is there any local tribes besides just Mayan?
Over here? Good question. Very good question. We will get there on a second, okay? Yes, the arrival of a different culture came here on a point, yes? On the same year that the Spaniard came too. In a minute we can get there, okay? Now, let me tell you that you are now on the central park of the city, the ceremonial center of Tantun, yes? This is where all the magic, all the love used to happen, my friends. Of course, that I mentioned earlier that no human sacrifices were made on this town. Do you remember? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but indeed another class of sacrifice used to be done here. Sorry? Not animals, I'm sorry, no. The marriage, my friends. A different class of sacrifice, of course a good one, yes, a good sacrifice. But if there's a good place on the whole island to get married, it will be exactly on this altar that you're seeing, if you believe a little bit on the Mayan culture. But why? They found a way to align the altar of marriage straight, directly with the gods, with Hubnapku, the god of the cosmic energy, by putting this altar perfectly well aligned into the 4 cardinal points. Yes? That corner it faces directly to the north, south, west, and east, with not one grade of mistake, and still NASA in Kentucky, United States, comes here to study how they managed to do this. It has 7 steps to get on top and get married. Of course, again, not by coincidence, the 7 days of the week. Good luck. It appears on the Chinese calendar too, my friends. And 7, well, 3 sevens also is a jackpot, right? And 7 multiplied by the 4 cardinal points, the 4 corners. What number will appear over there? 28. With all due respect to everybody on our excursion, mostly to the ladies, we already know what happens on a female body every 28 days, right? The number of fertility is still written over here on the altar to get married. So the Halach Winik, this high priest used to give the blessing in front of it. Yes? The family of the people getting married will be right next to him with the wife of the Halach Winik. Mayan Walmart. Market, yes? Where the currency used to be the cocoa beans and the system used to be the tradings. One thing for another. If you were a fisherman, you could give your fish in exchange of maybe turquoise or black coral. Family, the noble class will be standing up in front of the altar over here, dressed on white. And 7 columns that you see over here on this corner were reserved. 7 columns were reserved for 7 captains of war. Yes? Only the greatest warriors of the Mayan world will come to visit Tantun, to be on the ceremonies and to enjoy the big fiestas afterwards. And, well, sometimes, well, everything that goes up on a point has to go down, right? That happened over here too. And as my friend over here mentioned, which other culture came here? Well, this city stopped to be used on the 1512. I'm sorry, my friends, but we cannot smoke in the park. So if you want to take some pictures to the iguanas or to the temples, go ahead. If somebody would like to listen, what happened to the Mayan people, to the Mayan world, please step a little bit closer. Yes. What happened to them? Well, you know that this country was conquered by Spain. Have you heard about this? Well, the arrival of the Spaniard people came on 1512. And before going to the Yucatan Peninsula and seeing Chichen Itza and all that, they will see Tantun first. They will see Cozumel Island first. Over here they will celebrate the first Catholic Mass, and they will do also the first church. Yes. But on the arrival of them, there will be 2 troubles. The first one on 1512, when Juan de Grijalva came, Gonzalo Guerrero, a very important person in the Mexican history, the first one to cross bloods, to give the first mix of bloods on this ground. We call them mestizos. Yes? Today we are all mestizos, a mixture of bloods, yes, from Spain and Mexico. After all this, after seeing Tantun and seeing what the Mayan people was doing over here, they will go back to Spain to bring a very important person on a galleon named Hernán Cortés, the conqueror of Mexico, he will come also to Tantun. But on the second travel, my friends, on the second time they will come here, they will notice that Tantun was already empty now, already deserted. Nobody was standing over here anymore, and this city was stopped to be used on that point for the next 300 years. Why? The arrival of a different pre-Hispanic culture of Mexico came. They didn't run from the Spaniards this time. They ran from the Aztec culture. Have you heard about Moctezuma? Moctezuma was the emperor of the Aztec culture, and he came here to invade the Mayan world and trying to get the treasure of the Mayan people that was what?
Gold.
Cocoa.
Silver.
It's not material.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. That was the real treasure of the Mayan people. As you may see, they were on the Stone Age. Gold wasn't on their hands. Yes. But actually, some columns that you see over here on the park, they are covered with Mayan stucco, hiding writings and information from Moctezuma, the Aztec emperor. Yes, so they will run to the south into Guatemala, Belize, Chichen Itza, to run from the Aztec culture. And it's over there when they will notice that they will see again the Spaniard people. Moctezuma will have to go back to Tenochtitlan, to the center of the Republic, because Hernán Cortés was invading the center of Mexico. But armies of Spaniards will come to the Mayan world, and over here everything will change on my country. For the Mayan people, seeing a Spaniard downloading a galleon was, for them at the beginning, was a blessing, you know. Seeing a tallest person with different color on the hair, on the eyes, with facial hair, shiny armor, swords, shields, even horses brought by Spain. They didn't use horses. For them, my friends, they were similar to gods, yes. But the third thing that they will ask to the Mayan people is what they came looking for, yes. I want to ask you something. Do you know how the Mayan people started to die? Diseases. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning this. It's accurate somehow, you know. Diseases were brought by Spain indeed, but the Mayan people were prepared with doctors too. And maybe some people died because of these diseases, but let me tell you something, my friends. The history of diseases of Mexico is Spaniard history, written by Spaniard hands. You know, whoever writes the information today writes the truth. If not, we can take a look at the newspapers. And the real thing that was happening on Europe, the reason why pirates started to exist, was a material that was driving everybody crazy. You mentioned it earlier. Gold. And when the Spaniard people first came to Mexico, they thought that over here they will find El Dorado, the city of gold. But they noticed that the Mayan people were on the Stone Age and they didn't even knew gold on a great amount. So the third thing that the Mayan people will be asked on the Mayan land will be the simple question, excuse me, where is the gold? Do you know where is the gold, my friend? So what do you think will happen to you if you didn't knew where the gold was?
They just killed him.
Having no gold was the same as having no head on that time. Yes? And this is when the real crossing of blood happened. As the Spaniard people didn't brought any women on the ships, this is where the mixture of blood started to happen. Yes? But please don't get me wrong. Maybe we sound angry with Spain, but this is not true. Yes? We cannot be possibly angry with a country that is broader from us today. Yes? Everything I know today on my life, my friends, it's a mix between two cultures, the Mexican culture and the Spanish culture. Yes? Who likes mariachis, for example? Well, the mariachis are Mexican songs, but played with Spanish guitars, right? The torero bullfights were brought by Spain too. The Catholicism, my friends, and today we are the most Catholic place of the world. Who likes tequila? Two hands. Family, the tequila is a Mexican drink. It's treated by a Mexican plant, the blue agave. But still, the process of distillation was brought by Spain. Again, mix of cultures. Yes. That's why we're brothers. We cannot be angry. But sometimes, let me ask you one question. With this, we are over. Don't you think that sometimes a little detail can change everything? And this time something happened. It was not a detail exactly, it was a person. What I told you about the Spaniards coming searching for gold is the start of the end of some people. Some people died over there, but still you can see Mayan people walking on the streets of Cozumel Island. Yes. The real thing that happened is an end of a culture. That's the real thing you need to know about. Actually, a genocide, a cultural genocide happened on this land. This is the little detail. On that time, the Crown of Spain sent a very special person that nobody on the Mayan world will ever forget. His name was Diego de Landa. Have you ever heard about him? Diego de Landa was sent to Mexico to convert every single person to Catholicism at first. He will come to the Mayan world, he will see the Mayan business, venerating people with crossed eyes, yes? And venerating the snake, something that on his Bible will mean a different thing, yes? In this point, Diego de Landa will change his idea on the Mayan people and his mood too. And he will find something that will change everything on my country and the rest of the world too. A script, a book, rolled, with a piece of information inside, that data that the Mayan people already knew that the world was round, years and years and years before Galileo Galilei will discover it with a telescope. In this moment, Diego de Landa will say, here, wait a minute, what's going on? As they believe on the snake, he used to think that they were doing sorcery. So he will start sending on all his persons on his charge to every single part of the Mayan world to find in his hands, in the end, every single script, every single book, every single Mayan information written by a Mayan hand on Mayan language. In this moment, Diego de Landa will notice that the Mayan people already knew how many constellations we have in the universe, how to predict a solar solstice and a solar equinox too, the many kinds of calendars, accurate calendars that they used to have, as the moon calendar, year calendar, solar calendar, even the long count that ended on 2012, and the world thought that it was going to end. Family, Diego de Landa, in this moment, will got scared. It's a natural behavior of the human being to be scared whenever we find something new, something real fresh. So instead of taking it back to Spain in order to be analyzed on a museum, and maybe today my country will be one step forward in the world, and the world too, yes? Diego de Landa, as he was scared, he decided by himself, with no hesitating, to gather all the information of the Mayan world, and with no hesitating, build a big campfire out of it, leaving a century of high advanced information into ashes. That's the reason why we don't know how the Mayan language is written today. We know how it sounds, yes, but we write it on the Gregorian letters that we learn in school, yes. And after this cultural genocide and the arrival of the Spaniards, Cozumel Island will be deserted for the next 300 years. When nobody will pass through this island anymore for 300 years, a exception of one kind of persons, piracy, pirates. As the movie Pirates of the Caribbean, my friends, yes? Jean Lafitte, Blackbeard, Captain Morgan used to come here, you know, bury the gold, take out the gold again, bury it again, take it out again. Pirate business. And after these 300 years of desertion of Cozumel Island, a new small thing, a new small detail that is on this jungle will bring back the people to work over here, will rise again the economy, and will give life again to this part of the Mayan world. Have you ever heard about the tree of Chico Zapote before? No. Nobody? Maybe you haven't heard about it, but everybody on the excursion has tried it before. Of course, madam, you are right. Chico Zapote is the same as saying chewing gum, my friends. No, the sap of chico zapote mixed with water and sugar, it gives chewing gum. And that's what Chiclets and Wrigley's company used to come here to search. Yes. So maybe you won't remember the 80% of what I shared with to you today. Yes. But if there's two things good to remember about this excursion is what Maya means.
People of the corn.
People of the corn. And another thing, are you related or have you ever heard this word, chicle? Remember this, please, the next time you chew a chewing gum. Chicle is a Mayan word, my friends. It comes from this land. Chi means mouth. The suffix of cle, it sounds sa on the Mayan language, chicsa. Chi means mouth and sa means walk. Walking mouth. And this is what brought back again people to work here and develop a new life on this Mayan world. My friends, thank you very much for listening to me today. I hope you like the excursion. And now we have, well, these 20 Mexican minutes to be on the facilities, yes? And, well, everybody has 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Perfect. And well, before you go, part of my job is also to, as I told you on the bus,